Yep, you've met the drivers and we are back, and it's British Touring Cars Season 4 and we're at KYOTO Driving Park. I'm not going to say that last name, but on pole it is Lewis for the Hyundai team, second for Ben, third for Nathan in a strong Subaru showing, fourth for Leon, what a lap that was, fifth for Adam, then it's Kevin, Chris, Liam, a bit further down than he'd hope, Rob, Andrew, Nick, Jeff and the rest that I didn't quite get to. Anyway, so Lewis on pole, but he'll be expected to be overhauled by the Subarus, and we're away, and Lewis is away well, and he's just managed to cover them both actually. So the Hyundai surprisingly got off the line. There's carnage in the background, I'm sure we'll come to that, but it is Lewis that turns into turn 1 first, just ahead of Ben, with Nathan, his teammate, just behind him. And there's just massive contact in the midfield as everyone tries to sort themselves out, but Andrew looks like he's got damage, and that will wear off after about 20 seconds. But up into 4th already is the Mustang of Chris, and the midfield try to sort themselves out. BMWs everywhere. We must point out that the reigning champion Sean started dead last in 15th place, and he's already making progress. I can see Ben looks like he's had a go for the lead, and that's allowed Nathan through, and I don't think he's even managed to get past Lewis, sorry. And in the background I saw a Mazda off, and again we'll come back to that, so we'll just concentrate on this lead battle for the moment. And what a start by the Mustang driver Chris there, and he's up into 4th, but it looks like he's under attack from Adam already. Adam in the Toyota this season. So as they head into the hairpin for the first time on this wide open track, and this is the slowest corner on the track, and Lewis is dive bombed into Nathan and into the side of him and pulls out the move. That's allowed Nathan's teammate Ben to get alongside. I don't think he'll complete the move though, and now let's go back and see what happened. Well, here's the first instance. So it was a Mazda, and it was Kevin getting pushed wide and losing 2 or 3 positions. And here's the start. So there was Bedlam at the back, and it's Leon's not managed to get off the line, so his qualifying ruined, and it's ruined his teammate as well. And that's what happened to Andrew. So a bit of bumping and boring, and he spun round, but it looked like a start glitch for Leon, so nothing he could do. Here's the battle for the lead. So Ben gets a move down the inside into the fast corner, gets it done, but brakes a bit late, pulls Lewis out wide, and that allows Nathan to take both of them. An audacious pass, and more problems for Kevin as he turns in and goes across the grass, slams in the side of Leon, and Leon's not having a great start to this race. He's a bit of a punch bag, and Kevin knows that it was his fault, so waits for Leon, and rightly so. In the background you can see Ben and Lewis going at it, and it looks like Lewis is going to get the move just. So bit of safe driving there from Ben, just making sure that there's no contact, and still the Mustang's holding on and well up in 5th place. Liam though did have a great qualifying, he's moved up 1 position, and just getting the grips with the Hyundai. Leon though will be devastated at the start of his race. It's not his fault, we've had a lot of glitches. This was the 4th attempt to start this race, so Gran Turismo need to sort a few issues out, and quickly. Also there'll be a lot of side contact penalties which will be removed at the end of the race, so we will go through the finishing order at the end, so you may have to ignore slightly what you see as they cross the line, as they flash through now this fast chicane. And the BMWs all looking good, all look fairly similar, which is quite hard to distinguish who's who. Into this fast left-hander we go again, and wide from the Mustang, and also from Nick it looked like in the background, and that's allowed Liam through. So yeah, very easy to get that corner quite a little bit wrong, just going in carrying too much speed, and it also really does affect your tyres, that corner. But as we can see, the BMW's coming through now, and Sean's already passed pretty much half the field. So started last, didn't get a qualifying lap in, struggled to get to grips with the BMW. And there's Leon moving past Brian. So some good news for Leon at last. And there's Andrew, and he's battling Kevin, who's dead last at the moment. Kevin, who's won pretty much every racing series you can think of, has come to touring cars to try it out, see what he thinks, and I think he's enjoying it, although probably not the start to this race. He'll have to learn the physical side of it, which we all know well. And Lewis now trying to take the lead from Nathan, not quite successful that time. And down the straight, the Hyundai very quick down the straight, and it looks like he's got a little bit of an overlap, and he's going to use that. Nathan's had to go wide and give him some room. Come off board now, and we're going back to the TV cam, and we can see that Lewis might have this, though now Nathan has the inside for the next corner. Maybe just about hold the position. Nope, they're going to go side by side through the rest. That's going to be tricky because that curb's a bit nasty, and you can see a wiggle there from Nathan. His teammate had the same issue as well. He's coming under attack from, looks like Adam. Yep, Adam flying through the field, getting back up to 4th place already. So it's Subaru, Hyundai, Subaru and Toyota. BMW, Hyundai again, then the Mustang, BMW. So we've got 4 BMWs. Anyone that saw the draw, sideways from Rob, he's completely gone across the grass though to avoid contact with Adam, and that's probably the cleverest move. Although he'll probably get a penalty for that, and he has. So drivers were instructed to take corner cut penalties, but forget that for a minute. Lewis with a great move down the inside of Nathan, but Nathan saw it coming and just did a cutback. And in fact Ben's almost got a cutback as well, although round the outside is tricky into this next right-hander, and he knows it. Drops behind Lewis, across the curbs they go. Nasty corner, probably the hardest corner on the track, that one, to carry speed through. And there's Rob doing a good job as well. Ben still looking for an overlap on Lewis. He may get some slipstream from his teammate as well, but that Hyundai has got some legs on it. Front engine, rear wheel drive that car against the 4-wheel drive Subaru. Flash of the lights from Lewis, not particularly sure why. And Adam's there as well. We know Adam's a feisty campaigner, I think that's the right word. And there's Ash. Ash is slowly moving up the field as well, and he's got Sean behind him, the reigning champion. Sean drove for Subaru last season, won the championship. And look back at the aggressive front end of the Subaru, darting around trying to find a bit of room to try and pass Lewis. But no, Lewis is not going to fall for that. Wide again in the background for Rob, but he's cut the line back, so that's good. Chris under attack from Ash. Looks like Ash has got the inside line, but that Mustang has got probably the fastest legs on it. And he's just about pulls clear down the straight. Toyota not the quickest. Sean sat there keeping a watching brief at the moment, but he has passed a lot of cars. His teammate Jeff in 10th. And here's the all Mazda battle, which I'm sure Brian will just let Kevin go. Now Ben feeling the need to cover, and well, Adam has passed Ben, and this is how he did it. Down into the dipper and into that fast chicane. Clean move, great move, gets it done, and he'll now look to attack Lewis, although Ben's not finished yet. I don't think he'll get around the outside there though. A couple of BMWs at it. It's a Mobile 1 car and the 007 car, and that's Jeff and Nick. Kevin meanwhile passed his teammate. So everyone looks like getting a score points today, because the other Mustang driver just decided not to turn up and not tell anyone. So well, keep your eyes peeled, because we might have a surprise for next week, but we'll get into that maybe later. Meanwhile, Sean has now got an overlap on Ash, and he'll try to go around the outside of him. It's brave. And meanwhile, Ash tries to get down the inside of the Mustang at the same time. He thinks, I ain't losing one place, so if I gain another one, that should help, and it did. Great move by Ash. Forceful, but that's touring cars. Sean looks to repeat the move on the Mustang, but that's tricky around the outside, as we've seen already. It looks like he might have it on the second apex, and he has. So the Mustang, after a great start, dropping back now to 9th. Was 4th in the early stages. Liam meanwhile is all over the back of Ben, who doesn't seem to quite have the pace at the moment. And the leaders are getting away quite handsomely now. Kevin meanwhile still 13th, just ahead of his teammate Brian. Then it's Andrew at the back. Nathan's still leading though from Lewis. Then it's Adam, Ben, Liam. So they head uphill now towards the hairpin. And the Mustang dropping back ever further. Leon though on his comeback drive up to 12th. This car did not move off the line. Like I say, we had many glitches before this race, and maybe that's still in the system. And it's quite disappointing really, because this game was fine until the last update. There wasn't really any need to mess about with things. And it's a source of frustration for the drivers as Ben now dives down the inside of Adam. It's a bit optimistic and probably a bit over optimistic, but Adam gives him the space anyway. And Adam probably, flash of the lights, not too keen on that move. I'm sure we're paying back for it though. But There was a gap, he went for it, probably didn't quite make the move as clean as it should have been, and Adam, I'm sure, will repay the favour probably now. And now he is side by side, and if he's got any brains to push him out wide, he didn't though. And now he retakes the position, so there we go, all spare and another more. Liam though, with the pretty quick down the straight Hyundai, which he called a South Korean piece of pish, by the way, in the practice session. I'm sure he's starting to believe that it's a good car, and more contact, and that was more contact, bend to the back of Adam a little bit as they all turned into the corner, and that put Adam wide into Liam a little bit, and probably another over ambitious move from Ben there. Who is that idiot? There's Jeff in 10th, and Liam's passed Adam as well, so 3 into 1, that's interesting, and a great move again by Ash. Ash is on fire this race, absolutely flying. He had a bit of a slow start, but he's moved up from, I think he was about 10th, and now he's moved up to 6th, so backing up his teammate in the second Toyota. Ash doing a great job. Meanwhile, Nathan still with Lewis all over the back of him. We know Lewis does tend to suffer from a bit more tyre wear than some of the other drivers because of his aggressive style and the fact he's on a pad, so yeah, that may be a factor in the second half of this race. Ash though, as I mentioned, doing a good job. He's got Rob though looking down the inside, and you have to give him room. Rob's got his car alongside, Sean's there waiting, so Sean flew through half the field, and now he's a little bit stuck behind these two, and he might even get both of them, so he's passed Rob. And then there's Ash, and he's the gap down the inside, and he can put his nose in there. He could probably make the move, but Ash has gone a little bit wide to make it even easier for Sean, so Sean picks up 2 positions up to 6th place. Rob might even get Ash as well. Ash on the dirt, but does maintain the place. Yes, he maintains the place. Rob will have to think somewhere else to overtake. Meanwhile, Nathan now just starting to edge away from Lewis. Are we reaching that point where Lewis's tyres fall off? Ben doesn't look like he's got a whole world of grip either, as he runs wide into the left-hander with Adam and Liam in hot pursuit. But Sean finally up into 6th place, though Ash looks like he's fast enough to go with him. And the Mustang not quite suiting this track. Leon kicking up the dust in 12th as he is in pursuit of Nick. Kevin there with his Kevin McAllister in the window, looking shocked, probably at the standard of the British touring car racing, which is a bit more rough and tumble than he's used to in the GT3 Championship, where he was the champion last season. So comes into this series with a big pedigree, but does take a little while to learn this series. It's a little bit different, but Kevin's got the skill to do it. Man from Greece. But Sean though, just starting to edge away from Ash, although he's gone wide into the last corner. Nope, he's cut it back, that's okay. Rob still sniffing around the back of that Toyota, thinking of a move as we start to get towards the end of this race. There's Andrew in 14th, he'd be disappointed with that. Last season in the front wheel drive Renault, which didn't really work out, lightning on the straights, but really did destroy its tyres. So moved to the Lexus this season. Through the chicane they come again, and a flash of speed, and Liam does not look like he's done with Adam quite yet. Through this tyre eating left-hander, you just got to be patient through there. It looks like Liam's a bit wide, but no, he's okay. And they're just getting to the point where we're kind of like in a limbo right now as everyone starts to figure out their move. Oh, Liam was pretty close there to Adam. Sean edging away from Ash. I wouldn't say he's racing away. And the Mustang just trying to hold on for some points. Jeff though, he's come from quite a long way back as well, and Leon's up to 11th. And he's being chased down by Kevin, who's absolutely flying. And there's Nick. I think Nick's dropped back a couple positions, so Nick must have had an issue. Andrew in a bit of a lonely 14th, still learning the car, but that is a quick car if you can get the handle of it. Nearly won season 1 championship with Nathan, so it's got a lot of squirt down the straight. Nathan now looking like he's got this in the bag. He's just edging away a couple car lengths at each lap on Lewis, Don't think there's a lot Lewis can do. Ben looks like he's going to come under attack by these two if they can sort themselves out. Liam flashing his lights to say, I'm going to attack you, so get ready. Liam there in the Peugeot 406 livery, which was run in the 97-98 season. And there are quite a lot of 90s liveries this season. The Subaru liveries from late 80s. That Nissan one in front from the late 90s. So that does seem to be the theme this season. Liam now just searching around the back of Adam for any sort of move that could be on. Toyota was very quick last season in the right hands, but kind of cost themselves the team's championship with basically racing each other and hard. But this season with Adam and Ash in the car, I'm sure there'll be a bit more harmony in the Toyota team. Sean well in 6th, and quite easily now he's just managed to stretch that to Ash. He's dropped him out of the slipstream, so looks kind of a bit of a status quo end to this race. The only action I can see happening is between Lewis and Adam and Ben, maybe. Depends if they can pull him back in. And there's Brian in 15th place, get a point for that, so it's worth carrying on. Learning the car all the time. Another new car for him to learn. But Nathan now with this race in the bag as they're about to start the last lap. Ben just with a little gap over Adam, who's got a little gap over Liam, so not the most exciting end to this race, which is unusual for the British Touring Cars. The SBR British Touring Cars. And there's Leon, who'd be cursing his luck from the first lap, but what a qualifying lap he put in. Lightning. He's only had 3 points, I'm told, so that maybe explains why. If we didn't say 3 points of what though, could have been meths. But Nathan it is that looks like he's going to wrap this up. So he's about halfway around the last lap now, through the corner of death that eats your tyres. Lewis looks like, but wow, this is closed up quick. Ben's 3rd, but Adam is closed right in now, so maybe the Subaru's at its tyres. Did a lot of work to get to 3rd, and Adam is really there, and he's flashing his lights. And Adam will, this is for a podium. Liam's dropped off the back of this group, not quite in contention yet, but if these two go at it, he could be. And they're known for going at it, these two, so not like that. Adam now will try and make a move though into the hairpin. That's going to be his best chance, really. Thinks about it, looks for it. Oh, Ben just covers it at the last moment. It was on, and he's still looking for a cutback. They got invisible, that doesn't help. And Ben maintains the place, and now it's all about this horrible downhill chicane thing. And look back from Ben, and it looks like he's got that covered. He looked like he was just a little bit quicker through there, and that should be that. But what is that? If that even makes sense, is that Nathan is going to win this race on his debut for Subaru in the Demon Tweaks car. The 2nd place will go to Lewis in the SN Ultra car, the Hyundai, and he celebrates with a spin. 3rd for Ben, 4th for Adam, 5th for Liam, 6th is Sean, great comeback from the back of the field. 7th for Ash, great result for him. 7th, or we'll have to go through it at the end because this has just gone silly. And it looks like Leon is going to get 11th, so that's not a bad comeback from what was a disastrous start. 12th for Kevin on debut, 13th for Nick. See, he comes across now, so he'll be disappointed with that being the last of the BMWs. Nick can do better than that. And here's Andrew, who'll probably be disappointed with 14th. Should be. He can do better, much better than that, but bit of a tough race that one. And then we'll get Brian across the line in 15th for the final point. And we'll go through the finishing order, which was a bit jumbled because of all the penalties. So Nathan wins from Lewis, Ben, Adam, Liam, Sean, Ash, Rob, Chris, Jeff, Leon and Kevin. Lewis with the fastest lap in the Hyundai. And then 13th, like we said on the broadcast, was Nick. 14th for Andrew, 15th for Brian. So that was the first race of season 4. We'll have the second race coming up very shortly, so check it out on the SBR channel and check it out for all the other videos that we have on the site.